So what is the deal with federal rent checks? Right now, there are a lot of ads and emails going around that you can collect federal rent checks of up to $7,000 per month. So is this legit or is this a scam? You probably have received an email that looks something like this. So these emails are right now going around where it says, "Dear reader, right now any American taxpayer can get simple instructions and position themselves to collect federal rent checks of up to $6,945 over time, possibly more." Now, let me ask you, have you received any of these emails or have you seen any of these ads? Because this is the hype right now. And it says that there's a little known investment strategy to start collecting yours right here. When you click on this link and follow it, it'll bring you to a website that basically talks about these federal rent checks. Please review the following information to see how you could receive $1,795 or more every single month. Let me just give you a brief background and then we talk about whether this is legit or whether this is a scam, because I believe that you need to know this. The government needs office space, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it is the FBI or CIA or the Department of Justice the government needs office space. These days, they are leasing it. You see, the government used to own all the buildings, but years ago, in order to spruce up the balance sheet, they sold the buildings because this gets a lot of money in, right? And now they're leasing it back. There are other advantages for the government to lease their own buildings. It looks better on their balance sheet and in their budgets. Now, I looked it up and there's actually 9,600 government buildings that they are renting back. Now, when they rent it back, obviously, the government has to pay rent. And this is the premise of these federal rent checks. So the question now is, how can you benefit from these federal rent checks, right? And this is where the newsletter comes in. Now, this newsletter that's being sold here, it's by a company called Money Map Press. Now, Money Map Press is a newsletter provider. They have really clever copywriters. I've met some of them. They're incredibly talented. And so they're selling newsletters for $47 a year or $99 for 2 years. Now, do you need to have the newsletter in order to understand what this is all about? No, you don't. No, you don't. So let me help you to save some money and explain to you what is behind all this if you're seeing these ads or if you have received one of these emails. These government buildings are in a so-called REIT. What is an REIT? It's a real estate investment trust. In a nutshell, what it means is that an REIT is managing these buildings and they need to pass on 95% of their profits to investors. So you can buy shares in an REIT. An REIT is trading at an exchange like a stock. And this is what makes this concept so intriguing. We'll look into this to see if it is worth for you doing this. So what do you need to know? First of all, the government doesn't own their own buildings anymore. They have sold them. So somebody else owns the buildings, and this is an REIT. They are paying rent, and you can get a share, a part of this REIT, by buying it like a stock that pays dividends. There are 2 REITs that have these government buildings. And again, this is where the newsletter probably explains it much fancier than I do, but you know me, I like to cut through the bullshit and tell you straight up what it is. DA, that is one. And if you go to this, you see it's right now trading at $17.51. The dividend right now is 5.78%. So it is paying quarterly dividends like any other stock. The other REIT that has these government buildings, it is called OPI. OPI is paying 7.21%. Here's the challenge. The investment in this REIT makes 6 to 7% per year. And now you might say, wow, this is fantastic, right? I'm getting risk-free 6 to 7% per year. No, that's the fallacy here. It is not risk-free because these REITs can go up and down in price. Let's take a look at DEA. So even though you're getting 6% per year, let's see how this stock or REIT, right, that trades like a stock, has been performing over the past year. This has been going down from $22 to $17. So there's the downside. Like with every stock, you can lose money here. Look at this, even worse. OPI used to trade at $90 and is now trading at $27. Long story short, how does it work with these federal rent checks? Is this legit? First of all, yes, it is. However, it's a clever story around saying invest in an REIT that owns office buildings that are being rented by the government. You can make 6 to 7% per year, but as you can see, there's a huge downside. So for me personally, it is not worth doing it because my goal is to make 60 to 70% per year. So not 6 to 7%. And I'm doing it by actively trading stocks. And if you're interested in learning how I personally do it, please go to mytradingroutine.com. There's a free video for you that shows you 35 minutes long of what exactly I do. So now you know what's behind these federal rent checks. Make your own informed decision. For me personally, I don't think it's worth it. If you found this video helpful, please make sure that you are subscribing to it, that you like it, and leave a comment. If you know anybody who might find these videos helpful, please feel free to share it. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Click on like and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And make sure to subscribe to this channel to get new videos automatically.